T.D. Jakes, the charismatic pastor, filmmaker, and best-selling author, has inspired millions across the globe. Known for his electrifying sermons, motivational books, and unwavering faith, he has long been seen as a pillar of hope, strength, and guidance. But at 68, the man who has encouraged countless people to rise above their struggles has faced a tragedy so profound that even his most devoted followers are left reeling. Despite the public image of resilience and success, T.D. Jakes has endured personal challenges that few could imagine. Behind the pulpit, beyond the spotlight, there have been moments of loss, heartache, and deeply private struggles that shaped his journey in ways that fame and power could never mask. And now, news has surfaced that reveals the gravity of the hardship he has quietly carried for years. Sources close to the pastor say that this is not a story of a fleeting setback or minor disappointment.
It is a tragedy that has affected him personally, spiritually,
and emotionally, leaving an indelible mark on the life of a man whose purpose has always been to uplift others. The news has shocked fans worldwide, prompting reflection on the human fragility that even someone as seemingly indestructible as T.D. Jakes can experience. What exactly happened? How did this tragedy unfold? And how is T.D. Jakes coping with a challenge that threatens even the foundation of his life's work? This is a story that transcends faith, fame, and fortune, a story of pain, perseverance, and the often unseen struggles behind the public image of one of the most influential spiritual leaders of our time. T.D. Jakes is a name that resonates far beyond the walls of any church. For decades, he has been a guiding light for millions, delivering sermons that combine passion, wisdom, and a deeply human understanding of struggle. From his leadership at the Potter's House in Dallas to best-selling books and inspirational films, Jakes has become synonymous with hope and perseverance. Yet behind the commanding presence and infectious charisma, there is a man who has faced trials that few could have imagined, even as he encouraged others to overcome adversity. T.D. Jakes faced personal challenges that were often invisible to the public eye. The very struggles that gave him insight and empathy, the moments of doubt, loss, and personal hardship were tucked away behind a carefully maintained exterior. For many, it was easy to see him only as the pastor, the author, or the motivational speaker. But those closest to him know that his journey has been shaped by experiences that were painful, formative, and profoundly human. The tragedy that has now come to light is not a fleeting incident or a minor difficulty. Friends and insiders describe it as a life-altering event, one that has tested T.D. Jakes' faith, resilience, and emotional fortitude. It is the kind of hardship that could shake even the most steadfast person, forcing reflection on personal priorities, relationships, and the very mission that has defined his life. Over the years, Jakes has openly discussed the weight of responsibility he carries not just to his congregation, but to a global audience that looks to him for guidance. That pressure can be immense. It demands not only charisma and leadership, but also emotional stamina and personal sacrifice. Yet, even the most resilient leaders are not immune to loss, heartbreak, or challenges that threaten their sense of stability. This latest tragedy has struck at the heart of T.D. Jakes' world. While specifics are emerging gradually, sources emphasize that it has profoundly affected him personally and emotionally, reminding fans and followers that spiritual leaders, despite their wisdom and strength, remain human. They feel pain, they grieve, and they must navigate challenges without always having the luxury of privacy or space to heal. For Jakes, this moment represents a convergence of his private and public lives. It is a situation that forces him to reflect not only on personal grief but also on the way his leadership, his faith, and his mission intersect with human vulnerability. It is a reminder that the greatest heroes often bear the heaviest burdens, and that even those who seem indestructible can experience heartbreak on a deeply personal level. As the story unfolds, one question dominates: how will T.D. Jakes confront this tragedy while maintaining the strength, faith, and leadership that have defined his life? The answer may reveal not only his resilience but also the hidden depths of humanity behind a figure the world has long admired. This is more than a story of loss. It is a story about endurance, reflection, and the delicate balance between personal struggle and public expectation, a glimpse into the life of a man who has spent decades guiding others while quietly facing his own. BATTLESTD. Jakes' influence reaches millions worldwide. But with that influence comes an immense burden. Leading a megachurch, producing films, writing best-selling books, and mentoring countless individuals is no small feat. Every decision he makes, whether in his ministry, business, or personal life, carries weight. And while he has long been admired for his ability to inspire others, the demands of leadership have exacted a cost, one that has become painfully evident in the tragedy now facing him. For decades, Jakes has been a master of compartmentalization. On stage, he exudes confidence, delivering sermons with a commanding presence that makes followers feel seen, heard, and motivated. Behind the scenes, however, he has carried the weight of personal responsibility, navigating financial, familial, and emotional pressures that rarely reach public awareness. The public only sees the outcomes: the sermons, the books, the motivational speeches. What they do not see are the late nights, moments of doubt, or the decisions that keep him awake with worry. This tragedy, sources reveal, has pierced through that carefully constructed balance. Friends describe Jakes as deeply affected, wrestling not only with practical concerns, but with a profound emotional burden. It is a stark reminder that spiritual leaders, despite their guidance and wisdom, are not immune to heartbreak. Their visibility magnifies their struggles, and they often must maintain composure even when facing profound personal pain. The impact of this tragedy is multifaceted. Emotionally, Jakes is navigating grief, loss, or disappointment feelings that resonate on a deeply human level. Professionally, the situation may affect aspects of his ministry and public engagements, as it requires reflection, recalibration, and sometimes even temporary withdrawal. Spiritually, he is confronting the difficult task of reconciling personal hardship with his lifelong message of faith, hope, and resilience. Insiders emphasize that what makes Jakes remarkable is not the absence of struggle, but the way he approaches it. He does not shy away from pain, nor does he allow it to define him entirely. Instead, he confronts challenges head-on, seeking understanding, growth, and eventual resolution. This approach has guided him through previous trials, but the current tragedy is testing even his considerable resilience. The juxtaposition of public expectation and private suffering is perhaps the most heartbreaking aspect of this story. Followers look to him for guidance and strength, expecting unwavering wisdom and certainty. Yet, behind closed doors, he grapples with the very vulnerabilities he teaches others to overcome. It is a reminder that even those who inspire the world are still human, capable of suffering, doubt, and heartbreak. As TD Jakes faces this challenge, the world watches not just to see how he manages a leader's responsibilities, but to witness the humanity behind the icon. It is a rare glimpse into the life of a man whose life has been devoted to uplifting others while quietly enduring his own trials. The coming months, insiders say, will be pivotal. How he navigates this tragedy could redefine his personal journey, his leadership, and the way he connects with those who look to him for hope. It is a deeply human story, one that reminds the world that faith,
Resilience and strength do not erase heartbreak,
but they do provide a path to navigate it. While TD Jakes has spent decades inspiring millions with sermons, motivational books, and public appearances, few have truly seen the depth of the personal struggles he has faced. Even the most celebrated leaders confront moments of vulnerability, grief, and emotional turmoil, and Jakes is no exception. At 68, he is facing a tragedy that underscores the fact that spiritual strength does not make one immune to life's harsh realities. Those close to him describe Jakes as a man of unwavering dedication, both to his faith and to the people who look up to him. But dedication often comes at a cost. Years of shouldering responsibility for a congregation, managing a vast organization, and serving as a public figure have placed enormous pressure on him, pressure that most observers could never fully comprehend. The very qualities that make him inspiring: discipline, empathy, and moral authority also make him acutely sensitive to hardship, loss, and conflict. This tragedy, insiders reveal, has had a profound emotional impact. It is not a minor setback or a temporary difficulty. It is a challenge that cuts deeply, testing his resilience and emotional endurance. Jakes has always emphasized hope, perseverance, and faith. Yet even these pillars of his guidance are being confronted by circumstances that demand reflection. Vulnerability and personal strength. The personal dimension of this story is critical. While followers often see only the public persona, the commanding pastor, the motivational speaker, the author Jakes has had to navigate the private side of grief in silence. Behind the pulpit, he carries the weight of his humanity, fear, uncertainty, and heartbreak that come with real-life challenges. It is this private struggle that makes his public perseverance all the more remarkable. Friends say that despite the heartbreak, Jakes is facing the situation with introspection and grace. He is seeking ways to reconcile personal grief with his public role, ensuring that his message of hope remains authentic while allowing himself the space to process pain. This delicate balance between private suffering and public expectation is perhaps the most daunting challenge a leader can face. And yet it is a testament to his character that he continues to navigate it with dignity. Ultimately, this tragedy serves as a stark reminder that even icons of strength are human. They experience loss, face heartbreak, and endure struggles that often go unseen. T.D. Jakes' journey is a powerful lesson in empathy, resilience, and the reality that leadership and vulnerability can coexist. As the story continues to unfold, it is clear that this chapter of his life is shaping not just his personal journey but also the way he connects with those who rely on his guidance. His authenticity, even in the face of adversity, is a source of inspiration, proving that strength is not the absence of struggle. It is the courage to face it openly and honestly. As T.D. Jakes navigates this profound tragedy, the focus has shifted to resilience, reflection, and hope for the future. Despite the heartbreak, he remains committed to his mission, guiding, inspiring, and uplifting those who look to him for wisdom and support. But this chapter also reminds the world that even the most influential leaders must confront personal challenges head-on, balancing vulnerability with the responsibilities that come with their platform. For decades, Jakes has taught others that faith and perseverance can overcome the darkest moments. Yet the reality is that even those teachings are tested when tragedy strikes close to home. Sources close to him say that he has approached this latest hardship with introspection, humility, and a determination to navigate it in a way that honors both his personal journey and his role as a spiritual leader. This dual focus, honoring personal grief while maintaining public guidance, is a testament to his character and dedication. Friends and colleagues emphasize that Jakes' response is emblematic of his lifelong philosophy. Strength is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to confront hardship while continuing to move forward. He is using this period to reflect, recalibrate, and reconnect with the core values that have shaped his life and work. In doing so, he models the very resilience he has encouraged in millions of others. The tragedy also highlights a universal truth: no one, regardless of fame, wisdom, or spiritual stature, is immune to loss. T.D. Jakes' journey reminds us that vulnerability is human, and that authentic strength emerges not from denying pain but from facing it with honesty and courage. Even as he endures a deeply personal trial, he continues to inspire by example, showing that perseverance and hope can coexist with grief. Looking ahead, Jakes is expected to embrace this chapter as an opportunity for growth. While the emotional scars may linger, they will also serve as a foundation for deeper empathy, greater insight, and renewed purpose. He will continue to share his message not from a place of unshakable perfection, but from a place of lived experience, a reminder that the most profound guidance often comes from those who have faced their own struggles. Ultimately, the tragedy at 68 underscores the remarkable humanity of T.D. Jakes. His life has been one of extraordinary leadership, spiritual insight, and inspiration, but also one of personal trials that test resilience and character. His response, defined by courage, reflection, and hope, provides a powerful lesson. Life's greatest challenges do not diminish a person's impact, they deepen it. For T.D. Jakes, this chapter is far from the end. It is another step in a journey marked by endurance, faith, and the unyielding belief that even heartbreak can become a source of strength. His story is a testament to the power of resilience, a reminder that even in life's darkest moments, hope and determination can guide the way forward.